What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Now this video is going to be the first episode of the Gold Coast Marathon prep season. So at the moment we're about 16 and a half weeks out, so next week will be my first official week of prep. So I thought this video we would go through my plan for the whole prep, and then also what I'm going to be doing with gym. So I'll be backing off to 3 days a week per gym, so we'll be running through what I'll be doing for those sessions, and yeah, just going over pretty much everything so you guys can follow along. But we'll go through all of that later on in the video. I've got to get a run in this morning. Crappy weather this morning. It's just been off and on rain on the Gold Coast like the whole of summer or the last few months, and it just seems like it's hanging around as well. It hasn't really cooled down too much either. It's still very hot, but it is what it is. Hopefully in the next month or two it really cools down, but we're just making do at the moment. So yeah, I think on deck today we're going to get hopefully 12 to 14 Ks, maybe 15, 16, depending how the body's feeling. I went for a ride yesterday with the group at Burleigh, the trek crew, and it ended up like 80 kilometers, and it was up some very steep climbs, so my legs are extremely sore. So we'll see how they hold up, but yeah, let's get going. Right, just stopped for a quick toilet break. We're just about to hit 5 kilometers. Average pace is sitting around 5 minutes per kilometer. Heart rate's sitting around 140 to 145, so it's going good so far. Fueling this morning, we had a shot of coffee and then 2 scoops of G1M Sport. So no solids this morning. Let these cars go past. Yeah, two scoops of G1M Sport with about 500 mils of water, so fair bit of fluids. So might have to stop again for a toilet break, but yeah, just trialing something different. And no gels today either, so we'll see how I feel towards the end of this run. .5 kilometers. I just realized that I was probably running with the tailwind the whole time, so should be fun on the way back. .250 meters to go. Been a good run. I'll chat to you guys in a sec when I'm finished. That is the easy run complete. An hour, 16 minutes, 15 kilometers. Pace was 5:04 minutes per kilometer, or what's that? I'll leave the minutes per mile on the screen. But yeah, that didn't feel too bad. What's the average heart rate? 146. Max heart rate was 154. So pretty flat route that I went today, which is nice. Means that I can kind of just keep the same pace, keep the same heart rate. But yeah, pretty happy with that. And because it is a bit rainy and overcast, not as hot. So that went surprisingly good with how sore my legs are at the moment, and definitely with how big the ride was that I did yesterday. But yeah, I was really happy with that. I think that will probably be like my baseline for like easy runs during this marathon prep. So I'd say won't be anything less than say like 14 Ks, unless it's like Saturday might be like more of a recovery day to kind of freshen up my legs a bit for Sunday. But other than that, easy runs will be most likely Wednesday, Thursday and Saturday. So Tuesday and Friday will be like, Tuesday's usually a speed workout down at the Spit with the running group. Friday is usually a speed workout again, but it's more like tempo kind of, or threshold longer efforts. And then Sunday is usually long runs. So like I just mentioned, Wednesday I think the running group usually does like a midweek kind of long run. So I may do that and do maybe like 20 kilometers, and then the Thursday maybe a 12 or 14. So I'm just gonna kind of gauge it off how my body feels with the load on the legs, and yeah, just kind of plan it as I go along. But I'll give you guys a rough kind of rundown on running and the gym sessions and stuff later on in the video. But I'm gonna go home, have some breakfast, and then gonna go get a pull workout in. So it will be back, buys, and kind of like rear delts. So moving forward, I will be going to a 3-day split. So like I said, I'll go over that later on in the video, but that's today's session. So better go home, fuel up, and then we'll go get it done. Right guys, we just freshened up, had a shower and stuff, but I've just made some breakfast. But I've got a couple mates that want to catch up for a coffee in a minute, so I'm gonna rush off and do that, and then I'll come back home. But we've made a smoothie with some BPN whey protein and some oats. I'll leave all the details and the macros on the screen for what's in the smoothie. But we've also got a full shaker full of water here, and it's got some electrolytes, strong red. This is a new flavor, acai, tastes amazing. And then we've got a scoop of strong greens, sweet mint. So these probably aren't the best mixed together, the mint and the acai, but separately they both taste unreal. But because I've mixed the electrolytes in there as well, this is probably the most overpowering kind of thing, the lemon lime. So it ends up just tasting really sweet, really refreshing, and really nice. But code Tommy if you want to get anything off the BPN website. Products are all unreal. As you've seen, I pretty much use nearly all of their products every single day. But yeah, gonna smash down this smoothie, go catch up with my mates for that coffee, and then we'll come back, then we'll go to gym and get the day started. So we're obviously back home now, caught up with the boys for a coffee and stuff, which was great. And now we're gonna go to gym. So as you've just seen, just made a sourdough. Well, I didn't make the crumpet, but just put the crumpet, a sourdough crumpet, in the toaster. And then we got some butter and raspberry jam on there. And then we've got 1 scoop of Endo Pump and some creatine in the shaker. Then we'll have that on the way. I will be training at LSKD, as I usually do for YouTube, because it's just really good to film. So yeah, shall see you guys there. Okay, before we go, this is the fit that we're rocking with. They've got an LSKD tank on, LSKD camo rep shorts, and then had a question about these New Balance shoes. These are the 530s. But yeah, that's the fit. I also have to take this wheel to get a new tire, because I don't know if I can find it, but it's a big tear in it. Had a puncture yesterday and it needs a full new tire, so I'll take that. Hopefully they can do it today. Then I'll head to gym and then hopefully pick it up on the way home. But like I said before, see you guys at gym. So guys, thought I'd do a voiceover because I haven't done one in a while, but like I just mentioned, we hit a big pull session at LSKD. So we started up with some pull-ups. I ended up doing around 5 sets of these. First few sets around 10 reps, and then as I got a bit more tired, I could probably only get out maybe 7 or 8 reps. So don't be too disheartened if you can't get out like a massive amount of reps on pull-ups. And the main thing is getting good form as well. I see a lot of people really hunched over when they're doing pull-ups, but the thing is, are you trying to grow your back and build muscle, or are you just trying to fling your weight up there, especially if you're strapping on weight plates and stuff? No offense, but I've seen some like females like trying to stack heaps of weight and do these pull-ups, but they have the most hunched over shoulders ever, and it's not going to build muscle. It's just like an ego thing. So leave the ego at the door and just focus on form, because that's what I feel is the biggest thing when you're trying to grow your back. Is just keep it nice and stable. As you can see, my body's stable. My elbows are out wide, especially when I'm doing pull-ups and these lat pull downs, pretty much the same form, like bringing the bar down to my chest, really kind of putting my chest out and bringing the elbows out wide. Now, as I mix it up with the narrow grip here, it's going to hit a bit more of my middle of my back, but as you can see, similar kind of thing. I'm pushing my chest up. I'm not hunching my shoulders over. I'm just pulling the weight down through and just getting a really good contraction. And as you can see, like my body, my legs, everything's really stable. I've got my legs kind of locked into the pad underneath, making sure that I'm not bouncing around, and just getting a full stretch and really good squeeze down the bottom as well. So like I mentioned, I feel like that's the best way to grow your back, is just really good form. And for years and years when I was younger, I just threw the weight around and my back just didn't grow at all until I slowed down the movements and did it properly. So now we're doing some cable rows. So what I'm pretty much trying to do is just hit every angle of my back. So we've had some wide grip stuff, had some narrow grip stuff, and now we're doing like a rowing movement, which is obviously more so focused on those lats, like rather than the middle of the back. But that was pretty much it for back. So we moved on to some rear delt stuff. These are some of my favorite exercises at the moment. So we got the cable face pulls, and as you can see, I'm sitting down rather than standing up. I just feel like I can brace myself much better, get much more stable, and pull the weight through more controllable. So after that, my other favorite rear delt exercise, cable crossovers, and yeah, just making sure I get a really good stretch through like the rear delts and traps. And then we moved on to dumbbell alternating curls. Started a bit heavier, and as you'll see in a minute, I just pretty much did a triple drop set, and I did about 3 sets of these. So just started on a pretty heavy weight. Once my form started to go a little bit, I dropped from 15 kilos to 12.5 kilo dumbbells, kept going, then dropped to 10 kilo dumbbells. And like I said, that was pretty much enough, like 3 sets of that, and I was well and truly done with biceps. And that was still a pretty big session, like just over 1 hour, I'd say. But yeah, that felt good, and that's probably what I'm going to do moving forward with my pull session every week. Like I said, 3 days weights training. This is going to be one of the sessions. Little physique update at the start of marathon prep. I expect to probably be around the same size as this as we move through the program and stuff. I'm about 74 kilos to 75 kilos, so I'm not a big guy at all. Pretty lean, and I guess it's just like a bit of an illusion maybe. Alright, that is the session done at LSKD. Hope you guys enjoyed it. It's nearly 1 o'clock now, so I've only had like 1 meal for the day, so we'll be going home, having another meal, and then I'll run you guys through the full marathon prep. So I'll see you guys at home. Okay, so bigger meal than usual. I've got around 150 grams of cooked chicken, 200 grams of white rice, that's cooked weight. Then we got some Nando's Peri-Nays on there, this one here, and about 1/4 of a pretty big avocado. So that's only like my second proper meal for the day, so I'll have that, and then in an hour or so we'll probably make something else as well. So as I mentioned, Gold Coast Marathon preparation starts next week. I feel like I've got a pretty good base already, but the main thing that I'll be changing up is I won't be riding my bike. I may be able to get a bike ride in Monday if it's a really easy effort, But other than that, I won't be cycling anymore until after the marathon. So it's 16 weeks starting from, well, this Sunday will be 16 weeks. So we're diving straight into some pretty big volume and incorporating some long runs again, which is probably something that, well, I went for a long run a couple of weeks ago, but apart from that, it's probably the one piece that I'll be missing, and then obviously doing the cycling. So I'm going to leave everything just on the left hand side here, so you can see all the details, but we will start it from Monday. This is the routine that I'm going to want to follow. Now, for the next month or so, I haven't even mentioned, next week I'm heading to America for another BPN treat, another BPN athlete week trip. So America, we're going to Nashville, so that's going to be cool, but obviously schedule's going to be out of whack next week. Hopefully I can still squeeze everything in, but we'll just see how we go. And then I have a few other events and weekends away in the next month or so, but this is how I want my week structured, especially when I'm back home. I should have a good solid 12 or so weeks at home every single weekend where I can really dial in on this training. So let's kick it off with Monday. Monday will most likely be no running. Like I said, maybe an easy bike ride in there depending on how I'm feeling, but the long runs are going to be on Sunday. So Monday is going to probably I'll probably just need a decent rest from a pretty taxing weekend. So Monday, no run. I will do a gym session though, and that will be a push session, which will be chest, triceps, and a little bit of delts. And then that's pretty much Monday done. Tuesday, I'll have the group running session, the speed workout in the morning. That's usually quicker kind of interval stuff. And then I'll train legs that afternoon. So that's pretty much Tuesday done. Wednesday will be, I'm thinking, a midweek long run. This is something that I didn't do last prep, but the running group, a few of the guys run on Wednesday and they do roughly like a 20-kilometer midweek long run. So I'm thinking about incorporating that, and that's obviously another run that I can run with them. And I feel like the more runs I can get under my belt every week just running with the group, the easier that prep becomes, because those runs just feel so much quicker and easier rather than running solo, which can get a bit boring, especially when it's just back to back to back, like big volume weeks. So that might be my plan for Wednesday. And with that, I'll have a rest day from gym after that. So Wednesday, just a long run. Thursday will be an easy run. Now this may vary depending on how I'm feeling, but I'm thinking 14 to 16 Ks. Might just be an hour if I'm absolutely feeling taxed from the day before. And Thursday we'll also have a pull session, which will be like the session that I showed you guys today, back, rear delts, and some biceps. Friday will be a group tempo run. Now this will vary. It's usually tempo or threshold efforts, but as we move closer to the marathon, or like say 4 to 8 weeks out, we'll probably be doing some pretty big sessions on the Friday. So that might include maybe like a 5K warm up, and then it could be 3-kilometer efforts. It could be an hour kind of tempo effort at race pace. So there might be some bigger stuff there, but yeah, that's what the plan is for Friday. And then there won't be any gym workouts for that day as well. So before I go on to the weekend, weights, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. That's it, 3 weight sessions, push, pull, legs. Saturday will be an easy run. Now, depending on how I'm feeling again, that might be 12 to 14 kilometers. If I'm feeling fresh, might be a bit longer. But I want to make sure I'm fresh, or at least feeling half decent for the long run, which will be my main priority this prep, and the one thing I really want to just prioritize. I think pretty much everyone should be prioritizing their long run with their marathon training, because it's just a different ball game compared to doing a 10K or a half marathon race. You really need to get 2 to 3 hour runs under your belt, stuff that's like 30 to 35 kilometers, and yeah, for me that's going for a pretty decent time. I'm hoping to get kind of well under 3 hours this time. I'm going to be throwing race pace in there with the long runs, practicing fueling and all that good stuff. So that's pretty much a breakdown of how I want my weeks structured moving through this prep. Like I said, the first month is going to be a bit all over the place, but I'll be taking you guys through every single week because this is the start of the Gold Coast Marathon prep, and I want to do an episode every single week, no matter what I'm kind of doing. So that comes to the end of the video. I hope you guys enjoy that one. I hope you are excited to follow along with the journey. I'm really keen. I don't think I've ever felt this good going into a prep for a race. I don't think I've ever felt this focused and kind of driven on one certain race. It's always just been doing races here and there, but this one is just like, this is my main priority, and I'm going to make sure I'm going to be dialed in. I'm going to make sure I monitor my body with all this running load as well, make sure I'm not getting any injuries, and if I am, taking care of it. I'm just making sure I'm not doing anything silly. So hope you guys enjoyed the little breakdown, and hope you guys enjoy the series. Subscribe if you aren't already, because as I said, I'll be dropping videos every week. But that comes to the end of the video, so shall see you guys later.